Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Dateable Podcast, where we dig into the whys of people's behavior when it comes to modern dating. And then we're going to tell you the hows of navigating this whole dating scene, your love life, etc., along with our big announcement that we've been teasing for a while. I feel like the biggest tease right now. The only time in my life.
The hows has been what we've been asked for so long. Everyone's like, okay, the whys are amazing, but we need the hows. And that's basically what we set off to do. We're like, how can we bring the hows? And what is that question that everyone wants? Like, what is it ultimately that people want when they listen to Dateable? And I think the silver lining that really brought this to life was the pandemic, that we got to have so much close contact with all of you through the Facebook group, through Instagram, through all the community, and really hearing like, what is it that is this, what are the struggles? And really what people want is, to go from that dating hamster wheel, like being on the apps, off the apps, endless cycles of dates, meeting emotionally unavailable people, getting ghosted, like all the stuff that we hate about modern dating that everyone complains about. It's like, I don't want that. I want to just be like, find my person. I think when we talked to people, it was really that they don't want a partner. It's like, I want a partner that meets my needs, and finding that like real connection. Like, it's so hard these days for whatever reason to find that. It's like a needle in a haystack, or at least that's the feeling. So Yue and I really like put our minds together. We're like, we've talked to thousands of daters at this point. How can we use what we learned at Dateable and put this to good use that's really helping everyone reach the goal that they're trying to goal is to meet their person ultimately?
If you've been following us in our Facebook group as well as on social media, we've teased this out long enough, and we did reveal exactly what we're working on as far as the concept of it, which is a program to help you find your person. This is a tried and true method that we've developed in the last few years, and we've tried it on ourselves. Obviously, it's worked for both Julie and I. We've also tried it on others, unbeknownst to them, who've also seen great results from it. And we are so excited to share this method with a select group of people because, well, there are only two of us, so we love to share with everyone, but we can only take on so many at a time. And that is why we announced this early bird wait list in our Facebook group as well as on our social channels, because if you sign up for the early bird wait list, then you'll be the first to know of when registration starts for this Finding Your Person program.
And you'll be notified because we're also going to be dropping a 6-part series of videos. And I think Yue and I, like, we've been thinking about this. Yue comes from the dating industry. I've read a shit ton of terrible dating books that I feel like basically did the opposite of me to find my person. It totally hindered me in finding my person. So I think we're coming from this as like the anti-dating advice in a way.
Yes. Well, throw it all the bullshit, right? We've tried kind of everything, all the workshops, all the different seminars, all the different theories. And theories are great. I love getting theoretical, but then what do you do with that theory? Have you ever read a book and then thought, these are great theories, but are they practical? What are some real life examples? So what we've come up with are, yes, there are theories, but also how do you implement and put them into practice in your real love life?
Yeah, I think that's really the thing that we developed is the balance of, positivity, reflection, and action. We see so many people just, spinning their wheels, overthinking, and not taking enough action. And then we see others that are just diving in head first and not really reflecting at all. So there really is this combination. And also, like, what do you put out into the universe? Like, I think that could sound really hokey, but I do believe that people read the energy. And if you're projecting certain negativity, people on the dates can feel that. And when you're vibrating that positivity, people like attract to you like magnets. So if you want more information, definitely get on that early bird wait list. It's findingyourperson.com. Straight to the point, right? Findingyourperson.com.
We actually played around with the name quite a bit, and we thought, is it finding love, finding the love of that you want, finding someone who needs your needs. But after speaking to so many people, finding your person, just, we get it.
Yeah.
You get it. We get it. It's like, what's your goal for coming here to Dateable? Well, everyone's like, well, I'm just trying to find my person. Trying to find that person.
And it feels damn good when you find your person, doesn't it?
Sure does. It sure does.
I'm doing an ultimate test of my relationship this weekend. We're renting a 2-person kayak.
Oh boy. Well, you're not sleeping on it, are you?
No.
Okay. That would be the ultimate
It's not
test.
the ultimate test. What is it? The ultimate test is a trip to IKEA, a trip to the supermarket.
Yep.
I think the 2-person kayak kind of goes up there because you need to do like a lot of coordination together.
I think that would be really fun. It would be a good bonding experience. Let me know how you survive, both physically and mentally, from that.
There was an option to get like a to-go. Basically, if you need to use the bathroom while you're on there, like a to-go pack.
Oh, okay. Did you get it?
No, we're going to take our chances. Also, probably not going to be in the kayak for 4 hours. Like, we have the rental for 4 hours. I don't think we're going to be in there for 4 hours.
Or you can just take a little dip.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You know?
It's like the world's biggest toilet, right? It's
Yeah.
the ocean.
Yeah. And how awkward would it be if you're peeing off to the side with your partner right there? Like, it's not like he can hide and go somewhere else. He's going to be there.
I just want to know what it looked like the to-go, like, have you seen those before? It's like there was one called Go Girl, like when you go camping. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I had to. My friend May used it when we hiked Kilimanjaro, and I remember she was like, "This thing is going to be amazing in the middle of the night. I don't want to go to the bathroom." And then towards the end, she's like, "I'm just peeing out in the woods. Like, I don't need this thing.
Right.
I'm just squatting now." Too lazy to get this thing out. But that's going to be exciting. I was talking to my boyfriend about what could be something that could bring us even closer. And he was joking that, like, what if we just pooped in front of each other? I'm like, actually, yeah. Going to the bathroom together would absolutely bring you closer together.
It's the ultimate sign that you just don't give a fuck anymore, right?
It's like bathroom behavior. Those first few months of dating, it is like the most awkward thing when you have to go number 2. Like, do I go at his place? Do I go beforehand? Do I just hold it? There were so many relationships I've been in that I would hold it for the first few months and I would just be like constipated all the time. And then you get to the point where it's like a tipping point. You're like, all right, we're seeing each other enough. You just openly talk about it. And then you get to a like too comfortable point where you to openly talk about your how regular you are and what you're eating and maybe sometimes what it looks like. It's crazy just how you could go from, I'm going to hold it, I don't ever poop, to like, mine was really good today.
Isn't that everyone's relationship goal right there?
But I guess the ultimate goal is to get 2 toilets side by side like they did back in the day. I think this, I don't know,
I don't know.
Maybe I'm making this up. And then you sit back to back and then you talk about your relationship and do your thing.
I don't know. I think there's some things that are better to be left to be mysterious.
I mean, talk about
the imagination. Yeah.
Talk about a bonding experience for sure. I did have, I switched therapists and I had my first therapy session today. It was virtual. And Julie, you'll think this is hilarious. We got on our call and she and I were wearing the exact same thing.
Stop.
Like this cape thing, like this. I don't know, what would you call this? Like a wrap or a cape? It's a very therapy kind of feeling thing. And I like wearing it when I'm in therapy because I can wrap myself in it. But she got on the call and we were wearing the exact same thing, like touching our capes in the exact same way.
God.
I'm like, wow, we are as one right now. She must be a great one for me. But she and I talked about dream interpretation quite a bit. And this is one thing I will share with our audience, and then we can move on from this topic. But I used to think dream interpretation was to interpret what was happening in your dreams. And she gave me a really great piece of advice is you should always just remember how the dream made you feel. And that's what the ultimate takeaway is. So her advice is after you dream, after you wake up in the morning, jot down key words of how that dream made you feel. Don't worry about the details, who was in the dream, just how the dream made you feel. See any patterns.
I had a nightmare the other night that my partner and I broke up.
Well, how did that make you feel?
Really horrible. It made me really scared. And I woke up, and luckily he was sleeping next to me. And he's like, thank God I'm here right now. And he's like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm like,
well, it's okay. So, like, you felt scared, or maybe,
yeah. You're like, I think
unstable,
or maybe it's like this is something that you want to preserve, and you don't want it to not be there. You know?
Yes.
Like I don't think I dreamt it because I feared that would happen, but I think it was like, this is something that's really important to me right now.
Yes.
And I don't want to lose it. You know?
It validated the importance of the relationship. I also had a dream about you last night.
Oh, shoot. Oh God, I'm scared.
I have no idea. Remember, she said it doesn't matter who's in the dream, what's in the dream. It's more how it makes you feel. I don't know where we were. I don't know, somewhere public. And you and I were walking, and I was holding your phone for some reason. Okay. And this man, I think a homeless man, came out of nowhere with a really aggressive bulldog. And the bulldog looked vicious, and it looked like he was about to set the bulldog free into the audience. And so I started running. I was like, no, I think there's something wrong with this situation. I'm scared for my life. I'm going to run. And halfway through my run, I turn around and you're not there. I don't know where you were. I don't know if you started running with me. I was so scared. But I had your phone, and the whole time I kept thinking, who's she going to call? How is she going to call people? If she needed help, how is she going to get help? So it really scared me. So I had a scary dream as well.
Yeah. Wow. I don't even know what to make of that. What was the dream?
I don't think you need to make anything of that.
I thought you were going to say that we were holding hands, not holding a cell phone. I don't know why my mind went there.
Julie, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it? We posted our photo of us making an announcement, and one of my friends, Josh, was like, engaged? Oh. Because the photo, I agree, legit looks like we are holding hands. If you know the photo we're talking about, you know exactly what's happening.
If he wants to see, there's like a whole slew of ones that are way better than that one. This is like the best of the bunch.
This is what happens when you have a wedding photographer take your photos. Now in hindsight, we realize, because in the moment we were like, yeah, put your head on my shoulder. That's cool. Yeah, put your pinky on my thumb.
Maybe they'll be released someday. We'll keep you posted. Maybe not.
It's a secret vault, our lesbian vault, of a lot of people who already think we're in a relationship. Rightfully so.
I'd love if that was our big announcement.
We are engaged.
Imagine.
We've been working on this for years.
It would also be like a coming out. Like, it'd be so much going on right there.
You know what? It might be a better offering than anything else. That would get us more publicity than this course that we're offering.
This program. Yeah.
Sorry to disappoint you all that it was an engagement announcement between Julie and I.
Just say this program instead of this program we're working on.
This program that we're working on.
Great.
So anyway, we are not engaged, but we are.
Sorry to break the news, everyone.
Very excited to release these photos. We've gotten requests to see these photos, so we will release them one of these days when we get really big. There's some really good ones.
Yeah, there are. Oh my God. Well, in the meantime,
what is this episode about? Yeah. Maybe we should talk about that. Enough about us.
I'm so excited about this episode because I feel like, it's kind of coming off of last week's about Confessions of a Reformed Ghoster, which got a really good reception. I think a lot of people just love this episode because it gave like a different look into the mindset of someone that's ghosting, right? We're always like, me, and it's like, what's wrong with me? And she basically confirmed there's nothing wrong with you. It is all about that person and their avoidance. So if you didn't listen to that one, definitely check it out. But we're continuing this avoidance train this week, and we're talking to our guest Greg, he's been a digital nomad for a really long
As
time.
long as I've known him.
I feel like this is a trend that's been starting with COVID of people
Mm-hmm.
working remote and moving all over the place, but Greg has really been the digital nomad his whole life, or not his whole life, but a big portion of his recent life. And even before that, he talks about, like living in the city and being too busy. And I think a lot
Mm-hmm.
of times we all use this busy as kind of a way to avoid intimacy at the end of the day. Like, I definitely did that for a while. Like, I feel like until I stopped filling my social calendar like every second is when you could kind of like sit with yourself and be like, okay, why is my life this way when I want X, Y, and Z? And
Mm-hmm.
I think he's had a lot of those revelations over COVID time. And we're so excited to have him share those with all of you.
It's going to be so relatable for so many of you because in this society, we normalize busy.
Hmm.
It's like cool to be busy and it's normal to be busy when not really. I mean, if you have time to poo next to your partner or not, you have time for your friends or for the people that you are trying to
Hmm.
connect with. And I really love this journey that Greg went on to realize this, that it's the
Hmm.
avoidant attachment that he has that has
Yes.
enabled him to kind of run away from things when now he's ready to be in one place. Can you
Hmm.
believe it? And to fully commit to building a life somewhere. It doesn't mean that you can't work. Your life doesn't work when you're a digital nomad. You're not going to find love. That's not the case. But I think it's all about your intentions.
Hmm.
So if you are traveling a lot, always on the go, if your intentions are still to find your person, hint,
Yep.
hint, what a great title for a program, then you're on that path to do so. But if your intentions are to come off busy or seem unavailable or to seem like you're hard to get, then you're not going to find your person. You're just going to attract
Yeah.
people who are trying to prove something to themselves.
Well, I think a lot of times when we enter digital nomacy and travel, it's like to explore and find ourselves. And I think that can always be essential for that next step when you are ready to like find that person a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's sometimes hard if you're in exploration mode to,
Yeah.
to settle down. I hate the word settle down, but
Yeah.
to be a little more
Grounded.
ground, yeah, or just slow. I feel like
Slow. Okay. You just got to be a little slow, okay?
slower pace of life is what I meant to say.
I didn't know that
I
was the
feel
goal.
like I don't
I
know.
hate
I
the word
feel
settle
like
down. I just like the word
just
slow.
slow, just be slow. I don't know. I feel like before the pandemic, I was definitely more go go go, and
Mm-hmm.
then I realized how much just slowing down was important, and
Mm-hmm.
how much I even enjoyed like my social interactions better when it was a bit slower. And I know it sounds weird to say that you enjoyed social times during the pandemic, but I personally had a really great year socially during the pandemic. And I think
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, like, for like the pace that you're going at, it just allows you to connect deeper with people when it is a little slower.
Or I guess more present. It's mindful and it's more
Yeah.
present. And
Yeah.
you're not thinking about how do I fill my calendar? You're thinking about how do I fill my cup in this moment?
Right. Or you start to like appreciate little things more, like going for a walk or going to the park. Like I think I actually got the pleasure of meeting one of our former guests, Jeff Harry, the other week at
Yes.
Louise, our event producer's birthday party. You might remember him for making dating fun again, the
Mm-hmm.
play expert. And he met my boyfriend also, and he was like, what was the best date you guys went on? And we kind of were both like, I don't even know, like, because there's just so many times that even just being in like the presence, not doing much, has been our favorite. So we kind of talked about this after. It's like even just going to the park and like laying down, or like having the Sunday couch test, right, where you're just
Mm-hmm.
doing nothing with someone, can actually be the times that you like greatly enjoy. It doesn't have to necessarily be this crazy adventure all the time, although it's obviously fun to bake that in sometimes. It doesn't need to be just nonstop on the go activity, activity, activity. I feel like the connection comes with slowing down a bit.
So maybe the question should be, what has been your best date activity? And then what has been your best date where you connected the most? I
Yeah.
think it needs to be expanded on, because what has been your best date it's a hard question to answer, because people tend to fall into the activity of the date and not so much the person that you're on the date with.
Right. Or like, what was that time that was like a turning point in your relationship? And that could be like a little moment. Doesn't even
That's
have
a
to be a
good
big
one.
date. Yeah.
Yes, turning points or crossroads or turning points are always great moments to pinpoint.
Let's do announcements. Well, you heard the big one. Findingyourperson.com. Get on that early bird wait list. As always, follow us on Instagram at Dateable Podcast. Join Love in the Time of Corona. We had our first Love in the Time of Corona, which is our Facebook group. We had our first weekly sound off this last week, which is the updates we've been making to the sounding board. And we had a host-led session. We had two of our hosts, Shieldy and Brian, along with Janice, kind of overseeing, our moderator. And she, the discussion that they broke up into smaller groups, was all about how to ditch the checklist to find the right person.
So
and
good.
the response was amazing. People that have been with us doing these happy hours, discussions, all the stuff that we've been doing, said this was by far their favorite one yet, which means that we're on to something. So I was really glad to see that. I think that having a bit more of the focused conversation, it lets people know, like, okay, I'm going to clear out my Wednesday night for an hour to come to this. It's going to be worth my time. And I mean, the people in this group just continue to amaze us all the time. Just the level of introspection, emotional intelligence. Like, this is a really good group to surround yourself with. So if you're feeling alone on your dating journey, having this community is essential. So go to dateablepodcast.com/sounding board and you can get in. We just have one level. Keep it simple. Just be a member.